Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today, and welcome to the first Unity Stamp Company and ThermOWeb collaboration YouTube hop. So this is the layout that I created using some of the new adhesive transfer designs, and I am featuring Unity, but this week they released both Unity Brutus and Brutus Monroe transfers. They are super awesome. So first up, I am going to create a label, and this is using a different manufacturer's product, but it's super cool too, and I definitely recommend you check it out. And I want to create this label to match with the collection that I'm working with. So I'm kind of stash bashing here, and I am using some of the Gingham Farm collection from my mind's eye. I love the way the colors work with the photos that I've got here, as well as this gold foil. So with the adhesive transfers, you want to cut out the shape that you want, or cut out around the design. Then you're going to peel the clear bottom liner and gently position that on your project. So you can see how I positioned it on the label there, and then lightly press, not firm at all. And then you're going to put it into the craft carrier sheet, and then you can lightly peel that up after you've run it through your die cut machine. I had that extra piece of paper in there because the ink was still wet and I didn't want to get that on the carrier and then contaminate other projects. So then you're going to cut your foil, put the pretty side up facing you, so the color side up. Again, put that in your package, and then lightly pull, slowly pull that up, and check out that super cool label with my own custom colored foil. So I'm going to do the same thing here with one of the florals, and again, this is the Unity, one of the Unity releases, and this is the Blooming Friendship collection per se. So I'm doing the exact same thing. I peeled the clear backing, I put that down, I'm gently peeling this up slowly, and I'm trying to show you there the adhesive that's left on there. You could see it closer towards the end. Then I'm going to cut a piece of foil pretty side up. So if you do what I just did and stick it down, it's stuck. Don't try and pull that back up, or you will, it's that tacky that it will pull it up. And then slowly peel that back. And I liked the negative and the positive. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use this negative as well. I'm going to just lightly adhere that down to some cardstock, just using my UltraBond. And then I am going to fussy cut that. And I will zip through the fussy cutting. In fact, I think I'm going to skip the fussy cutting. I'll show you the beginning of that. But then I'm going to use that black overlay, the printed side, as well for an extra layer. Isn't that really cool? And you'll see it much better in the close-ups. But in order to stop this acetate that the printed side is on, I'm cutting down some Zotz blings so that they're super, super small, and I'm putting them in these dark leaves, the solid leaves, not just the outline leaves, so that I can kind of camouflage the adhesive that I'm using to tack that down. Normally I would staple it or I would push a brad through it, but I didn't have, there's no staple that belongs in a floral, right? And I could have pushed a brad through the center, but it would have changed the look of the design. You'll see on one of the other flowers, I used an enamel dot, and that was a perfect place to hide a full Zotz that stopped the whole thing from sliding. But here I had to get a little tricky and just use those Zotz. So when you're fussy cutting, make sure you move your paper and make sure you're not sliding all those layers. See how I'm trying to anchor it a little better, holding it much firmer than I normally would when I'm fussy cutting. And then I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead, and now I've got all of my foiled pieces, so you can see the negatives, the positives, as well as I've got in there a few other die cut pieces, just because I wanted to add a little bit more color than just all of that gold in there. So that is how to use these new adhesive transfers from Unity. Now the rest of this is, so that's the technique part. The rest of this is a process video as I use all of those elements that I created to create a multi-photo layout. So again, I'm using the gingham collection from My Mind's Eye, and I'm going to do basically a simple grid, and then just use these lovely flowers to embellish it, as well as a few of the other embellishments you can see sitting off to the side there. So I have this 6x4 photo that's tall, vertical, and I have a 3x4 horizontal and a 4x3 vertical, and I'm just going to grid those with that label there. So I used the phrase just saying hello, and then I wanted it to say birthday girl, so I used those two label phrases that are from the Simply Amazing Unity Transfer Design collection, and that adds a little bit of contrast to the black. So my daughter is so these are last year's photos. She's turning 15, and she has some roses that we bought her for her birthday, but she's sitting against a black door, and so I need that black contrast so that that photo just doesn't stand out by itself, which is why I also went with one of the floral digital die cuts, this one here that I'm holding, that is in black as well, because I needed that black contrast. I also felt that I needed that black contrast to just sort of soften all of the glisten and glimmer from the foil. I absolutely love the foil, but it needed something other than just the foil, especially given that she's got those gold numbered balloons that she's holding in her hands there. So I'm going to layer up the digital die cut, the transfers, and negative and positive with what I'm designing here in order to just create a diagonal plane really across the page, because you can see how the weight of the photo and the label is taller on the right hand side, and then it kind of comes down to that skinnier part on the left hand side, and so that is almost the line of the diagonal that I'm going to create for the movement there. So I changed the placement here because I felt like I wanted to keep some of the white space, and I don't like to fill the entire page. I really wanted this third flower, but I knew I couldn't use the whole flower because it was going to cover either too much of the photo or just literally be way too much foil. And so I like it tucked in underneath the photo, which is why I go with that there. The easiest way to tack these things down, because I've already placed them, is to literally just squish some liquid adhesive from using UltraBond in there. I love UltraBond. I find it is the best liquid adhesive out there, and I have bottles and bottles of it. Just remember that it does not come with the metal tip. You have to buy the metal tip separately, and the metal tip does not come with a way of sealing it, so I just use a tailor's pin to plug that up there. So I've also used a metal die. That's what the green is, just cut from one of the pattern papers with a tone-on-tone, just to add a little bit more green into the page. There's green, obviously, in the leaves of the roses, and there's green in the collection as well. And so I just wanted to sprinkle a little bit more of that, and I love the way that it adds a little bit more depth and movement to the florals. I also like the way that the tone-on-tone color sort of, the foil can be very in your face, especially with the quantity that I've got here. And so I love the way that the balance is provided by using those small little pieces of green cardstock there. So this is the enamel dot that I was referring to previously. And so I actually do have a dot, a bling, a Zot's Bling dot, that's a mouthful, underneath there that is being camouflaged by that enamel dot there. So that is how I've incorporated all of the great new release products into my page. Now I'm just going to add just a few little extra pieces here and there that are from the collection. My title literally ends up being just saying hello birthday girl, and that is, I don't journal on this page because it's her birthday, and I mean, what do you need to say about a birthday, right? Oh, you turned 15. Well, it's obvious she turned 15 because look, there's the balloons. So the one thing that I do feel that I'm missing in this design is a little bit of black. Yep, right down there where that half flower is. And so that is what I'm going to struggle with in the design of this page, but I will get that squared away because I'm going to use, it's actually a black label, but it's not as sharp a black as the black that I've used in the digital cut file or in that door. There it is right there. So I will get some letter stickers that are black, that smaller than the ones that are on that left-hand side of the page there. And that will add the black that provides the balance and unity throughout the page there. So this is a video hop where we are hopping with the Unity design team. You should have gone through most of the hop at this point, but if you are just joining us, welcome. And I will have the hop list in the description box down below, as well as a link to these new products. And now for the information you want to know most. So both of the teams are giving away a $40 gift card to our random commenter. So make sure you comment on each and every one of the videos, and a random commenter will get awarded a prize. And be sure to comment before 11:59 Eastern Standard Time on August 18th to be entered to win. So thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.